I'm going to give you a word that is like a dating trend.
Okay.
And you have to tell me what that word means, okay? This is Salt's YouTube. I'm Lauren Windle and I'm joined by Justin.
Hello.
So we're going to talk about dodgy dating tactics.
Okay.
That's why you're here, because I think these will shock you. They're not about sort of establishing whether there is or isn't a connection and then releasing the person. They're more about like keeping options open.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's very selfish, you know, it's not having those tough conversations, it's walking away without them. It's, you know, still kind of being around to make sure that, you know, if you wanted to reopen that door, that the person would let you. And it's mean.
Yeah.
It's well mean. And I think it's like self-esteem shattering games as well. Like, I think people don't realise how it chips away at the other person when you don't show them their appropriate level of value.
Yeah. Do you think it's fear of rejection? It probably could be a number of things.
Why people treat people badly in dating, because they're afraid that they'll be rejected. Yeah. I think fear drives the majority of bad behaviour, whether that's fear of how people will perceive you, fear of being rejected, fear of being alone, so you keep people on the hook, you know, that kind of thing. Fear of running out of options, fear of making the wrong choice, fear of actually having just to have a difficult conversation, you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's, to a certain extent, it's immature, I think.
Yeah, I do have, you know, all of us have fears. And so, so that kind of comes across.
But it's if you allow those to affect how you treat another person, that's not when I think you're going wrong. And I think the Bible's really clear on fear. So it's not, you know, it's not like you're evil if you're afraid of things. I think it's really human and really normal. But it's the most commonly issued command is do not be afraid in the Bible. But I do think that with online dating and with social media, that's where the opportunity to mass treat people badly has come to us. If you're enjoying what you're watching, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Along with increasingly poor dating behaviour is this whole new vocabulary that we have never had before, and it's very hard to keep up with. I do my best, but I'm going to say I don't succeed all the time. So I want to do a little test, a little quiz for you. I'm going to read out, just really stretch it in, come on. I'm going to give you a word that is like a dating trend. And you have to tell me what that word means, okay? Actually, a couple of them aren't that bad.
Is this like out of 10?
Oh, I've numbered them A, B, C, and it's from A to O.
I don't follow dating trends.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Number 1, breadcrumbing.
Breadcrumbing. Okay, so 2 thoughts. Okay, so firstly I thought like, is it kind of, it's falling apart. It's like crumbling, it's falling apart. But then is it like a Hansel and Gretel thing of somebody leaving the bread traces? And so it's this kind of maybe back and forth communication, but it's not really going anywhere. And so you'd be like, she's breadcrumbing me, and I don't know how you'd actually use that in a sentence.
Constant small messages, but never actually wanting to meet up. So that's right, ding, correct.
Okay.
That's good. Benching.
Well, it sounds like somebody's been benched. So if you think about sport, you're on the bench.
They've been on a date and then they get breadcrumbed. So the person never actually sets up the second date, but they keep them just with a little message here and there. So they're on the bench.
That's
you know, they've been subbed out. Okay, what is cuffing season?
The first thing that comes to my mind are cuffs. But cuffing season, getting together, could it be that?
So it's when you're happy single, but you want to be in a relationship just for winter, because it's nice in winter.
Oh, okay.
So you cuff for winter and break up by the time sexy summer of love comes around.
Okay.
Zombieing.
If, say, for example, if you're not interested in the other person, that's when you start acting a bit like an idiot and don't really kind of reply. And,
when someone ghosts you, but then they mysteriously come back from the dead like nothing happened.
Oh, wow. I did not see that one.
Yeah, that's big. Okay, fleabagging.
I have no idea what that is.
So that's off the back of the show, Fleabag. And it's repeatedly dating people who are wrong for you.
Oh, okay.
What is DTR?
DTR?
Yeah, you might know this one. Oh my gosh, Justin, you have been seeing her for 2 months. You have to DTR.
Going to the next level. You have to kind of take it to the next level. Get committed.
Warmer. It stands for define the relationship. Right, what's haunting?
It's a few thoughts, because initially I thought like, oh, is it like when you, no, that's stalking, when you go onto like social, it's not haunting.
That's an old school one.
Oh, is that like when somebody doesn't want to leave you alone and you're like, no, leave me alone? Or you either broke up but you can't stop thinking about them.
Okay, so it's halfway between the two.
Yeah.
You've broken up, or you were talking on a dating app and nothing happened or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're not going to date them. You're definitely not dating, no matter which way that was said.
Yeah.
But they still look at every single one of your Instagram stories.
Ooh, okay. So there's something of stalking going on.
So they're like just viewing you.
And you see that? Do you know that? Can you see
can
that
check who's looked at your stories on Instagram. Yeah. Did you not know that?
No.
Submarining.
That's going deep. Like literally going deep. Is that just what it is?
No,
Let's go deep.
Not being in touch with someone at all, and then bobbing up every now and again. Okay, next one, catfishing.
That's where I put a picture of Justin Bieber or Justin Timberlake or Justin Hartley on my profile.
Yeah.
Yes.
All of the three.
Yeah. And the only thing that's genuine is my name is Justin.
Doesn't even have to be though with catfishing.
Oh, really?
You can literally recreate anything element of your life. Okay, this one's funny. Stashing.
Stash them away. Let's go with stash the...
So you don't include your partner in any other part of your life. You stash them. They never meet your friends, they never meet your family, you don't take them to church. Anytime you see them, it's just the two of you and that's it. And they're cut off from the rest of your life.
Oof.
Cushioning.
It's almost like the rebound one, where you broke up with somebody, but now you're kind of looking for just...
to soften the blow.
Yeah, and so she's cushioning it.
When you are seeing someone, but you string someone else along in case your current situation doesn't work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Catch and release.
You spoke to a girl at the bar, got her number, went on one date, no. It's like, got it out of there. No. I have no idea.
It's when someone loves the chase, finally gets the person, and then gets bored and dumps them.
That's what happened to JD from Scrubs when he finally got Elliot. Now I'm referencing something from like probably the 1920s, but...
Okay, last one, FBO. Think about it. What could FB be?
FB, Facebook.
O,
Facebook object, Facebook what? Facebook, FBO, Facebook.
There should be some tumbleweed that goes across the screen.
Literally.
Facebook official.
Oh.
Obviously.
Yes, I deleted my Facebook app from my phone and I hardly ever go onto it anymore.
Let's say man or woman, they ask out and they together have a really good date.
Yeah.
And they have a conversation at their third date where they decide that they will be exclusive. And rather than doing a weird intermediate phase, they call each other boyfriend and girlfriend from the start. They're really clear about it. They have a wonderful relationship. They introduce each other to each other's family and they really enjoy dating. Let's come up with a cool word for that.
Oh, right, okay.
Let's claim back the dodgy dating vocab and have a good one, and we can be like, oh, they totally blah blahed. All right, we can come up with anything. So we've had to consult off camera. Yeah. Gaz, the only person who's actually within an age bracket where they would use these terms in the room, has suggested we call it DIR, doing it right.
That is very good.
That's good.
That is good. They are
So
DIR.
on the third date, they, DTR'd and now they're DIR.
Yeah.
Defined the relationship and now they're doing it right.
Doing it right, yeah.
Stop it.
Wow.
Next time I speak to you, I'll be like, was seeing someone submarined me, so I ditched him, and now I'm hoping to go DIR. All of these things are about getting what you want.
Yeah.
Cushioning because you may need something to soften the blow when your first choice relationship doesn't work. Submarining because you want some female or male attention, so you pick on someone who you feel is likely to give it to you.
Yeah.
Breadcrumbing because you don't want to completely release someone to go and find someone who really cares about them. It's incredibly selfish.
Yeah.
And I just think it's from a place where people are a bit sad. People who are longing for fulfillment and can't find it are looking for it in the stringing along or the gratification of other people.
And it just makes you think how many of us, and I include myself in that, is just have all these kind of issues in the background going on that's driving our behavior up front. And the thing is, that obviously needs to be dealt with, and I'm not saying that needs to become perfect and you're 100% sorted, because that will never happen. But to kind of have the discernment between what is appropriate and what is not appropriate, and what is right and what is not, and being man or woman enough about it to kind of say, listen, I've got to move on from that, or I've got to stop this, or I've got to, and this is not appropriate. And a lot of it is selfish in what you said, but this kind of self-protection thing, so that you yourself don't really get hurt type thing. I think that's kind of hidden within there.
How do you think we should be doing this, Justin?
Go for counselling, of course.
Every single one of us. Yes. Take your counsellor on your date.
Yeah. I think kind of having good friends around you that you can talk these things through with.
I think accountability is quite key.
Because
people to say, like, actually, have you thought of her in that?
Because sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees in these situations, and you know what it's like, and I know what it's like when you're perhaps into someone, and there's a lot of emotions and a lot of thoughts and a lot of like, married thinking and future thinking and all that kind of crazy stuff that happens kind of in this initial moment, and it's like you can't see the picture. But when you're speaking to a trusted friend, they could actually say, what about A, B, C, and D? And then suddenly you're kind of seeing it, and it doesn't necessarily change the emotions, but it helps you to kind of begin to process it better.
Yeah.
Whereas how difficult is it to process these things in your head when you're going through it?
I agree, it is. And particularly when there's sort of feelings and emotions and you're not sure what the other person's feeling. But I do think that more of us, even before we seek out that accountability, which I do think is important, could say, like, what is the lived experience of the other person on the other side of this interaction? And would it make me feel good?
Yeah, that's good.
And I think if more people just ask themselves that simple question, because I don't think people on the whole are evil. I don't think the vast majority of people who do these things don't sit down and think, this will be fun, I'll breadcrumb this person.
No, nobody does it intentionally.
But they just get into a rut, they feel a bit rubbish and they go, oh, just drop them a message. Actually ask yourself, how will this feel to that person?
You also get the type of people where somebody asks somebody out, they're like, listen, I'm not 100% sure, but blah, 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 and just being upfront about it. And I think that's great, and that's partly what I'm saying is a personality and confidence thing, where some people are like, I'm freaking out, I don't know what to do, and so kind of half drop the ball or half not respond properly and stuff like that. You can be clear about it, or you can reply, and it doesn't have to come across like you're breaking somebody's heart and stuff. And all these are little learning steps and learning curves and things we go through, and then, oh my goodness, I got that totally wrong. And hopefully we will learn from that to not do that again. But if we can't recognize that, I actually really hurt her by doing this, I was actually really being unhelpful by doing that. If we can't recognize those things to kind of learn and grow from them, then in essence we're just going to keep doing the same thing. And when you keep doing the same thing, you always get the same thing and nothing changes.
If you've enjoyed what you've watched, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more salt content.